Hi guys, I'm so sorry. I apologize for oh my gosh. It was okay. Oh man. We know that's the thing, he's been suffering from anxiety or something's been going on that it's so weird because literally before the stream I gave him a bone and thought thought oh okay, that should be good, but I heard clattering and that's usually not like him. And oh guys, oh my gosh, well the good thing is I have some pretty good sewing skills, so it's not that bad. And the most important thing is he's fine. But oh my gosh, well the good thing is too he didn't eat anything that was, oh my gosh, sorry guys. It's been a little bit of a hectic week for everyone in the house, so I completely understand. Oh my gosh, but yeah, I think I know if I'm gonna do the streams and stuff. That's what's super weird. It's like he was literally super quiet when I was prepping everything, and um we were perfectly fine throughout the day. And oh boy, but it's okay. Everyone's fine, everyone's good. Um, I'll finish up the stream really quick and then do a little damage control when we're done. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, and I'm so sorry for the interruption. But he's doing good, and uh, just had to um, make sure that the most important thing is that he didn't eat anything that was uh, from that. So I found all the pieces, so we're perfectly fine. Um, but yeah, Neo Tokyo, to answer your question, uh, yeah, if you're going through a style change or anything like that, don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes, you know, people's styles and stuff change through time. It means you're growing as an artist. And, you just find new methods, to your madness. All right, let's see how the painting goes. Okay, I'm gonna try and use the same brushes that I did before. So I'm gonna use a little bit of a round brush to put in our layer. I already had most of the colors already laid here from the previous one in case, uh, so I'm kind of curious to see if I can kind of replicate. So far as inking, I did notice that I had to change up how I did things, so I'm curious to see if it's the same. Okay. But it's okay. I mean, don't feel like by the end of it you still learned something, you know? Maybe it's not the style where you want it to be now, but you learned something, you know? By the end of it, I feel when it comes to all different art styles and stuff like that, you're still expressing and you're actually closer to where you want to be than if you didn't practice at all, if that makes sense. So, don't just because your art style has evolved doesn't mean that your basics, I really don't believe that there is a, like, it's almost like saying, like, to a child, like, oh, if only you started dancing or you started piano, like, years ago instead of just starting now. And I don't know, I feel like that's a very unfair um, place to start your art, because it's already starting from a place of resentment and blaming yourself for something that you really can't change the past, but you can do something about how you treat yourself now and how you choose to um, present yourself in your art. And the way I think of it, and I'm guilty of this, mind you, so I feel like a giant hypocrite. Um, the way you should talk to yourself when you are drawing is the same way as if you were talking to a friend, or even if it's something negative, even if you're expressing you're coming from a place of pain or discomfort, um, or anger, when you're creating your art. And I know for a lot of people, art isn't as emotional, or it's not really about expressing themselves. It's just something that um, is more of an intellectual outlet, or it's something that they want to pursue professionally, which is completely fine also. Um, but what I feel stunts a lot of studies, especially when you go into um, practice, is that you are putting your energy and time. And it's not even like the idea of like, oh, energy. It's no, no, no. Like you're really pouring yourself into studying a skill. So if the whole time you're approaching your studies in a way that's kind of talking down to yourself, it's not going to be a very fun one. Like, not even fun in the sense of, yay, I'm going to draw something I like every day. No, it's very similar to, I think, working out. It's kind of like you're trying to get better at something, and you have to put in time into it. There is no magic pill. There is no um, magic skill or the right brushes or the right paints, or it is just time and dedication. And but if you talk down to yourself the whole time, if you just look at your art and just dread the practices, that's why I'm a big proponent of making your practices as fun as possible. I know it doesn't sound fun, but if you somehow squeeze in like your favorite character, or if you like character design, why is it that you can't do that when you're practicing backgrounds? Like if you like squeeze in that favorite a character or fan art or inside joke or something like that. Like something that says, hey, like I can still put a little bit of me in here, and it doesn't feel like, especially with figure drawing. I don't know what it was that with like figure drawing, I could not get into it, and that whole five poses and like 20 minutes thing. It's like if I didn't somehow, because I like characters. I like especially colors and things like that. So if I didn't put like my spin to it, I almost felt like I was drawing for somebody else. Which is a lot of people, they do that. They love creating other people's. If not, we wouldn't have like designers for companies and you know things like that. Commissioners, things like um, where you can bring other people's visions to life. And just yeah, long story short, figure out why you want to do things, um, and try and incorporate that in every aspect of your drawing, as much as possible, because I know sometimes that's not realistic. Sometimes in the art world, you're going to have to do things that you don't like. You're going to have to swallow that medicine that's a little too bitter for a little bit, just to get those practices in. I know with proportion, with anatomy, but why not make it fun? You know? Alright, guys, so I'm kind of noticing, not, well, I wouldn't say not too much of a difference. It's a little harder to put on those details, I'm not gonna lie, but we are going to persevere. Oh no, I'm bleeding. Okay, when that happens, don't panic. Just take a brush, wet it, kind of clean it, and then what you can actually do is before it dries, you can kind of slide off the paint with your brush. And it kind of gives a semblance of uh, but I know in the sense of watercolor sometimes that is hard to do. At least I'm lucky enough that it's kind of in the same palette, so I can, yeah, trust me, with what's harder to hide when it comes to this is when it's like, let's say like blue and pink and then it turns into purple and then you're fixing the purple. At that point, I just wait for it to dry and then try not to push anything too much because if not, it just becomes like muddy. So at that point, if you're dealing with like a two color, like, so at least with this, it's kind of forgiving because it's all in the same palette. So in the same range of colors. So pink and red, you know, you can kind of get away with it looking like shades. Um, but when it comes to like purple or like let's say if it's purple and orange or you know things that are kind of on the opposite ends of the color wheel, wait for it to dry. Wait for I know it's hard, but wait for it to dry and then you can go over it with the surrounding color, uh, being very careful, probably with a detail pen or with like one of these bad boys because like a fine tip brush to kind of go over. But watercolor is finicky. That's why I kind of like gouache for corrections, but I know it could get cakey. I've seen it before where you can kind of use gouache as kind of like a correctional tool or a jelly pen depending on how bad, but you have to do it when it's dry, like bone dry, because it will reactivate again. Um, so it's all like sometimes you can hide it if it's like let's say something like this, you can hide it like on the outside with a thicker outline, or you can hide it possibly by getting like a white jelly pen and dotting it. I know with specific paper it's harder to hide. So yeah, it's more of a circumstantial thing. But if you can, if it's within kind of the realm of colors, you can kind of get away with just pushing it around. Yeah, it's. Well, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't even play the. I'm so sorry. You guys. I had this video the whole time. I apologize. Here you go. There, then that way you can kind of, even though I know you guys have seen me paint with my nubby nails, but I do have to admit, like getting the getting the jelly gouache like from the trays like is a lot easier with acrylic. Ah, all right, so I'm gonna go in with that detail. Okay, very similar to oh no, it's man with the nails, it's harder to like grip the the brush like the way that I want to. Like I almost feel like I have to think harder and um like it almost feels like I'm holding even though like I'm holding the brush like as close as possible, it feels like I can't control it no matter how much like I try. Um it just doesn't feel very nice, I guess, is the yeah, it doesn't like kind of like without the nails, I feel like I have a better idea of like how much paint I'm holding and which is weird because I pretty much anytime I paint, um I feel like a little bit of a loose cannon and like kind of like, oh well, you know, what I get is what I get, but um I feel like more so, I don't know. Yeah, like it's almost like I can't um like it's not like I control the water like on my brush, but I almost felt with like my grip I could control the strokes a little bit better. I think that's what it just feels like where it feels like I've lost control of the brush and like my strokes are like all mm, not where I want them to be. Like because I'm like overthinking it too. Me overthink things? Nah. I mean, eh, what can you do? Is that the experiment? Did I do the thing? I think I did the thing. Oh right, the yellow detail. Gotta do that. We gotta do this experiment like the whole way through. Yellow detail. Oh my, did I? Oh, okay, that's where I went. Actually, like that one, it went a little bit better than what I thought. Okay, not too bad. Like I feel with like freehand strokes, it's more forgiving. But if like I'm working with like a confinement of a small space, um, it feels more like if I had a loose sketch, I feel like I wouldn't have a problem because I kind of am getting like the hang of it. But like if I'm working with like an already like outlined piece, it could get kind of messy pretty fast. But like that could be a style. It could be a look. Um, I'm gonna try and kind of do what I did here, where I kind of did a little bit of like a white gloss. Also I'm gonna try and lighten up like the inside. So like if you saw, it's just I got like too crazy with like the base wash. Um, like I was able, and that's what I'm trying to recreate here. Like I didn't go over white in this. It's actually just like an initial, just like light pink wash with just very little pigment, excuse me. So I'm gonna try and mimic that here by adding a little bit of water, and seeing if it lightens up the tone a little bit. So come with me and we'll see in a world of this imagination, cause oh gosh, cause it could do one of two things. Either it could break the paper, which would really sell on this experiment. Like that's what's funny. It's like I don't want to lean you guys into like one way or the other because I can see. Okay. Okay, so if I anchor my hand on the table, I and not kind of what I've been doing where I have been painting, and the way I've always painted and what I understood was like kind of anchoring my palm and then, but if I anchor my hand on the table and I kind of feel more in control, I guess. I guess we'll see. I'm noticing a little bit more texture. It could be because I. Oh, okay, okay. I think we're kind of slowly getting that lighter pigment. What I'm scared is actually, now that I think of it, let me just put this paper right now to kind of protect that, because like if this tears, then it's probably gonna. Well, I tried. I mean, it's not as noticeable as the other one, but yeah, it's definitely for. I wish I could like swivel the camera around so then you guys can see like the remarkable. You know what it reminds me of when like you're in a claw machine and you know like when you grab the prizes and stuff. That's exactly how it looks like from when I grab these little jelly cups from the palette with these nails. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, let me before I do that because I don't have as much control as I would like to think. So let's see if doing that will help. I don't think it helped. But then again, I kind of oh, I have to see when it dries. I mean, I can't be uh, I can't be that pessimistic with. I mean, okay, I'm just gonna let bygones be bygones and chill with this and yeah. So, um final closing arguments as far as um when okay, let me see if I can wait, let me add a little swatch here. Um so, uh when it comes to uh at least for me because I don't want to speak for other people because I know there's other artists and stuff who uh use different mediums and are way more experienced than me. But for me, it's almost like it's weird. It's like I feel, which I kind of took for granted. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, there's a feeling that you have in your techniques, and I didn't know how much I actually relied on my sense of touch and pressure um, on the pens to feel confident, if that makes sense. And I feel like the nails take that away a little bit. So it's kind of like instead of feeling the brush, and it could be because, like, disclaimer, I don't normally I've never really had long nails organically, and I've only really worn acrylics a handful of times. So I'm not used to it to the point where I don't feel it in every touch, right? So, like, as a person who does not normally, like, I am hypersensitive of the fact that, and hyper aware that I have these things on my nails, and I feel like it almost feels like a distraction. It's almost like, it feels like when you wear, like, rose colored glasses or something like where you can see the image but like it feels distorted in some way like that's kind of how I feel like I put rose colored glasses on my hands um and it feels funny and I didn't expect it to feel funny um like as I drew I kind of thought that like it would just kind of be neutral. I don't know. I guess I expected it to be. I'll flip back and forth. So then, where I definitely did see the biggest difference, I want to say, is when I would draw to my left hand side, um, or when I would draw possibly like slanted. So I guess because of the type of movement, it's like but what's curious about it is with my painting, it's kind of like my freestyle here where I didn't really have an outline. I was able to move however I wanted and I still got some pretty good outline out of it. So I'm pretty happy with that. But in the constraints of an actual drawing, it's very messy. It's very messy and I'm not too happy with it. Like I feel like I kind of didn't have as much control, I guess. Like even you can see it in the swatches. Like I feel like even in my brush strokes and it could be because like and it was so funny because I even thought I would be better at it the second time because I knew what I was drawing and what I was doing. But yeah. So that was an interesting experiment. So I'm gonna see if I could practice. Like, I definitely recommend doing this experiment to see if you guys come up with different results. If possibly it's um, like just me, or if like you guys come up with similar results. I know I'm kind of curious to see if it even affects like my digital drawing. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm possibly going to pop these off since I have to fix the couch now. But that's not a problem. I have pretty darn good sewing skills, so I'll probably go ahead and get on top of that. I definitely know I can't cross stitch with these babies, but I'll definitely try and pop them back on if it's something like where you guys want to do another experiment or something like that. Because it was really fun. Like by the end of it, it was kind of weird to see kind of like the line differences and all that stuff. But I'll definitely post it on my Instagram, so then you can guys can see the different details and stuff. And thank you guys so much. Neil, I'll definitely look at the Chulu markers and do a little bit of research. And if anything, I'll include it in a surprise stream this week or in a quick intro. So then I can kind of give you some info on that since I'm curious about it too. I know you guys were curious about the rubber stamp kit. Like I got it from my local art store. It doesn't really have a name. It's just kind of since we live near a base, it's like an in-base store. But I'll try and see if I can find some links or something. So then, if you guys are interested in making your own, I know when I found it, it was $11. But not including the roller or the ink. So, if anything, but I don't want to recommend it just yet, just because I want to kind of see some tutorials and see if it's like good or not. I don't know. This is kind of like my first kit ever, so I'll hold off on recommending it until I actually do the tutorials and the steps, so then you guys can kind of follow along with me. I'm debating between doing that or the Bob Ross tutorial for Monday's stream, but if anything, I'll just squeeze it in for a surprise stream this week. So we'll see how the schedule works. And as always, I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and having fun together. And I always laugh a lot with you guys and really appreciate your time coming. And so, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on my Instagram. And thank you guys so, so much for tuning in. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.